Hey, Lee Robinson here at American Sentinel Canine. Just out here spreading some fire ant poison. But as I walk around doing this, I was going through the yard, and I'll tell you, it's really hard to cull the dogs that are excellent. Just because a program, I don't have any extra spare spots. I've got, like 35 dogs right now. I'm not doing a head count. We got prospects that we're keeping, and I don't have any dogs that are just not good dogs. We have a yard full of excellent dogs, but the goal as a breeder, not just an owner, but as a breeder, is to continually move forward, to advance the breed, to take it to the next level. And to do that, you constantly have to select the best of the best of the best. And when your yard is full of several good dogs, it's like, how do I let this dog go? And you're like, I think to myself, well, I've got too many, and I'm trying to just continually move forward. And somebody might think, well, that's when you stop breeding. You just let them, you don't breed the dogs and just take care of what you got and stop breeding for a while. But the truth is, the way to drive evolution, one of the primary steps is overproduction of offspring. And a lot of people think that means puppy mill, but it's not about a puppy mill. It's about competition. And when you have an overproduction of offspring, that causes competition to be more demanding and more stressful. And so I look at my dogs and think, okay, well, who can I sacrifice? And in the performance venues, the dogs are really displaying what I want to see. So now it becomes almost like a selection of non-performance criteria of, okay, they're all performing great, but which one's displaying maybe the phenotype that I like? And I don't want to be a person that selects for non-performance criteria. I want to select for performance. So now I'm here asking myself, do I get rid of a dog for the purpose of a non-performance criteria? And if so, and I have a lot of work in that dog, I don't want to just let it go to anybody, because it's still an essential or invaluable component of the American Sentinel Canine program. So now I have to ask, where can I let this dog go so it's not wasted effort, wasted time? And it becomes difficult because while there's a lot of people that like our dogs and want our dogs, not everybody wants to be a breeder. So I'm asking myself, okay, another question. Not only letting it go, but which dog is going to be pedigree-wise the best match for the future of my own goals? Even if this dog is a great dog and second to none, and I've got 2 or 3 of them that way, or maybe a half a dozen that way, I now have to evaluate them on not only their performance and phenotype, but also their pedigree, and say, as far as the future recombinations of these genes to the other dogs that we keep, which one makes the wisest choice, which one is the wisest choice for us to continue to select and move forward. And then also I have my pit bulls, so when I say I have 35 dogs or so, I'm including my sentinels and my pit bulls both. And I don't really ever want to have more than 10 pit bulls, because I'm not, even though I am a pit bull breeder, and I try to continually select the best of the pit bulls for our desires, we have those dogs for the purpose of breeding into the American Sentinel Canine program. Again, I'm walking around with ant poison looking for fire ant beds, because we have them here in Mississippi. So breathing out, that fire ant stuff stinks. Get a whiff of it and you're like, but anyway, I don't want more than 10 pit bulls. So it's like, wow, I'm getting at a point where our program is maxed, and it just causes me to push harder and selecting on minute details that are so insignificant. And when you select for these things that are insignificant, it's like 6 here, half a dozen there, rob Peter to pay Paul. It creates a little bit of anxiety because there's not clear differences and there's not clear right choices. It's just such a minute detail of pressuring the population to become better than it has been in the past. And every year, every generation striving to take it to the next level. So this is why it's so nice to have other breeders pop up, because it allows me to somewhat expand our program into other yards that can keep the dogs that we don't want to see lost. Dogs that I've got generations and generations of selection in that really are on par with what I personally keep from my own yard, but not necessarily always the best combination genetically, because maybe I already have multitudes of that same lineage and I need to make sure we don't lose hybrid vigor completely. So we have to have enough genetic diversity to maintain the population, but not so much that we lose consistency. So anyway, just sharing a few thoughts. Everybody thinks this stuff is easy, but man, I work 12 hours a day, every day it seems like, and some days longer. It's not as easy as it looks. Y'all take care. God bless.